Welcome to the Real and Real Estate Podcast, your go-to show for real estate success. Whether you're an agent aiming to crush it or a buyer or seller wanting the inside scoop, we're here to deliver expert advice, insider tips, and the real talk you need. Each episode, we chat with top industry pros to give you the facts, strategies, and inspiration you need to thrive in this business. Let's dive in and make big moves together. Hi, welcome back to the Real and Real Estate, where we talk to the experts in real estate and all the industries related to it. Today we have Helen Perry with us again. So I wanted to bring you back because it is a new year. And last time we got together, you said New Year, New You, and I thought that was an excellent subject. So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself real quick? So, I mean,
Sure.
people have already met you on the previous podcast, but let's remind them, a lot's been going on since you were here last.
Yes, in the world and
Yes.
personally, I'm sure for both of us. Well, I was born the seventh of eight children right here at St. Joseph's Hospital. So born and raised and love the city of Houston. Went to LSU, so love my Tigers. My granddaughter is now the 15th person in our family to go there. My brother played football there, and we have a real affinity for the Tigers.
It's a beautiful campus. I've seen it.
It is. Thank you. And I now have three sons, two daughters. I call them daughters in love, and seven grandchildren.
Oh,
And
wow.
almost exactly a year ago, I got married to a wonderful man, Doug Simpkins, who was a developer of long time here in Houston. Uh,
Congratulations.
41 years. He built 110 buildings. So
Oh,
he
wow.
has provided a lot of jobs and flavor to the city, and I'm very proud of him.
Yes, that's you should be. Oh, wonderful. Well,
Thank you.
what do you see as the new year, new you? What do you see coming up for 2025? I know you're an image consultant. Well, you do
Mhm.
more than just image consultant. Tell us more about what all you do.
Well, I started my business in 1983, and it was just dressing people, and then I added makeup and etiquette. So I teach children and adults etiquette. My
That's
children's class
important.
has been going on since 92. I've taught thousands of children. It's called Eticool School. My next class will
Right.
be at River Oaks Country Club on March 2nd over a lovely lunch, 90 minutes. I give them a lot of information, written information to take home, but they will emerge knowing how to manage a meal, how to set the table, how to introduce properly, posture. We talk about annoying things to lose in your behavior.
I
And that's
think
what I
that
want
is
to talk
so,
about.
I'm sorry, I think that is so important for children to learn early, how to handle themselves in those situations. I think it's just part of growing up in this society. And, it's always easier to learn from someone else than your parents. So thank you for doing this.
Oh, it's my pleasure. It's very rewarding. We grew up conversing with one another a lot more than this generation. And
Yes.
they're almost having to teach college students how to have a conversation.
Oh, wow.
That has come up as a real need, unfortunately. So, I have studied a lot about impression management, how the world perceives us, and if you hovered 20,000 feet above yourself, how would that look? And how does that come off to other people? And how much fun are you to work with and live with and be with? So, a lot of things we don't know. And I get my clients in touch with that. So, for instance, if you're not closing sales, if people are not returning your phone calls, if you feel like you're reaching a lot of dead ends, that's a pattern, and we need to look at why.
I need to break
If
the
one
pattern.
person says you're difficult, you're obstinate, that may be their problem. But if you're seeing a pattern over and over again of behavior and roadblocks that you're coming up against, then we want to look at that. So, New Year, New You is about being kind to yourself, um, giving yourself some space. I've started going to exercise classes this year a lot more than,
Wonderful.
yes. And I just make that the priority and build my day around when I'm going to class. And the benefits are great. I feel better. I'm sleeping better. So, what is it? is my question to everyone that's keeping you up at night, annoying you, hindering you from being as productive as you could be. And it may just be a messy desk and how you're going to attack that. If you're ADD like me, you hate paperwork and you'll, stack. But I also hate dirt, and I can't, it gets to a disorder or a crowded kind of a feeling, and that's it.
Yeah.
I've got to attack it.
Yeah. Same
And I
here.
find that making small tasks, small piles, biting it off that way is more doable for me. But everybody's got their method. So,
My, not to interrupt you again, but
mhm.
there are some things like when I move. I don't move very often, but when I do, to me, the packing is overwhelming. And my daughter said to me the last time I moved, she goes, just take it one room at a time, which kind of reiterates what you said. Take one piece, accomplish that, break it up so that you're not, what do they say, eating the whole elephant at one time.
Elephant, yes, one
Yeah,
bite at a time. If
one
you
bite at a
find your
time.
jaws getting tight and your
Yeah,
shoulders, neck, just take a deep breath and break it up, and learn to ask for help.
that is hard
That's
for
hard
some
for you.
people. That's hard
Yeah.
for me, for sure.
Now, bad help is worse than no help because you're undoing what you did and then you have to go back. So you've got to
Yeah,
know the right personality
right.
to ask for help. But you might think about writing a New Year's letter to yourself. Who are you today? Who's in your life? Whom do you want to incorporate into your life? And so that could be a personal introspection. Who would you absolutely cross an I-beam for? If you beam of light across, who would you know, cross any bridge for?
Got it. It's kind of like a time capsule,
Well,
putting
yeah,
thoughts
I mean,
and,
I'd take a bullet for any of my grandkids, my
oh,
husband,
of
my
course.
that kind of thing. Who are your balcony people that are encouraging you, that really strong kind of love that you have? Um, I would I protect my business like a baby. No late plane is going to keep me from getting to a speech, or I hold it like that because it's my 42-year-old baby.
And
So,
that's why you're
uh,
successful.
well, you got to love what you do. If you're dreading going to work every day, then that would be something I would look at New Year, New You to set some goals around.
Right.
I teach a goal accomplishment method that really doesn't have a target date. It's called goal accomplishment instead of goal setting. Let's talk about the brain and how it works, how we introduce these things to our brain, the defining areas I'm going to talk about, and then give you a simple 3, 4 sentence formula for writing your goals, goal accomplishment. Written goals, 3% of Harvard MBA students have written goals. 13% had goals in mind in this survey. So we want it's a very small percentage of people who actually write their goals. And this is a process. We write them on 3x5 or 4x6 cards, and we just read them every day. It's not, it's a very simple thing to kind of let it work on you. So we're going to be smart about it. Think SMART, SMART, specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-based.
Right.
So we're not going to say, I'm going to write a book by next week. I mean, we're not going to put ourselves under unbelievable pressure and make ourselves uncomfortable. We're going to let this work on us. So the left side of the brain is your analytical and the right side is your global. I'm more right brain, creative, big picture. But everybody has there's talents both ways. So I'm more result oriented. So don't show me the whole process, just show me the result. There are 100 billion neurons in our brains. We just don't use them all. So sometimes we can have what they call a scotoma or a blind spot tunnel vision, and we don't open our mind up to the possibilities. And we call that the low concept, lock on, lock out. So
Oh,
only going to do this, and I'm locking out a lot of possibilities. The reticular activating system is a part of the brain that works like a good filing secretary. For instance, Jean, maybe you have a nephew that wants, what do they want now? Xbox or some kind of Apple Play, or and so you really haven't given it a lot of thought. But then you walk through the Galleria and you see windows with this item,
right.
and so it opens you up, and you file that in the reticular activating system. Well, that's how the goal accomplishment does. Say you test drove, I saw a really great looking Mercedes today. It was white, 400, a small one with a navy vinyl convertible top. It was beautiful. So I saw that car and I thought, wow, that's pretty. Well, now I start seeing them all over the freeway and all over town. They were always
Right.
there,
You
but
just
I
didn't notice them.
introduced it. And so that's how the goal accomplishment works. So we're
Very
going to
interesting.
introduce, hmm?
That's very interesting because, yeah, what if you buy a new car, all of a sudden you see it everywhere where you didn't notice it before?
Exactly. It was always there.
Yes.
There are 5 areas that I like to introduce for people for goal accomplishment. Your career, and that has to do with your coworkers, your work style, your clients. Then emotional, your relationships, your fears, your joys. Your mental goals, education, classes I might want to take, how I want to work on my attitude, books I want to read, information I want to gain or master, maybe
Mhm.
a computer uh, method that was holding me back. Again, always thinking about what's holding you back, what's bothering you, what's keeping you up at night. And then there's physical, your health, your housing, your finances. So instead of saying I'm going to lose 10 pounds, I'm going to say I am maintaining my perfect weight of 120 pounds, whatever it is. And that's the way this is different from most of the goal setting that we've learned. It's usually
Right.
I'm going to lose 10 pounds by February 15th. And then there's spiritual is the 5th category. It's issues of the soul, your serenity, your peace of mind. Maybe you want to go on a retreat. Maybe you want to make a daily prayer habit or set aside a time. Maybe there's a really good devotional you want to start incorporating into your mornings. And being grateful, just making gratitude lists. So
That is important.
I don't want anybody to worry about how you'll get there. Just own the destination of the goal. It may be outrageous. I have a New York Times bestseller and I'm traveling the country on every major TV network. It can be big. So
Right.
don't hold back, but also don't put yourself under a lot of pressure here. Make it doable. So you tell the mind how you want it to be. For instance, I have the perfect job for my skills. I create value for all those I serve. I feel excited, content, and satisfied. The last sentence is always a feeling.
Okay.
The first is you own it. The second one is more action. And then the last sentence is a feeling. So that would be career. Then some feeling words that I always give my clients when I'm teaching this would be happy, hopeful, inspired, jubilant, liberated, mindful, motivated, passionate, relaxed, resourceful, skillful, sophisticated, wise. Do you see? Or content,
Right.
blessed, capable, courageous. Those sometimes people kind of come to a writer's block on those, but here's one for career. The first sentence is a action. I complete all my projects on time. Number 2, my work is thorough and excellent. So that is how it's going to be once you've
Right.
done this. And then how you feel. I feel confident, secure, and appreciated.
I love
Very
this.
simple. 3 sentences. So you take ownership of the goal, like in the present tense.
Mhm.
Okay, physical. I'm in excellent shape. My body has the stamina and precision to perform like a well-tuned machine. Think big. I
Yeah.
feel, how would you feel?
Oh, you'd feel healthy. You would feel lighter, I think.
Energized,
Energized. Thank you. I
alert,
could, that's an excellent word. Yeah.
excited to meet the task at hand every day. So that is a 3 sentence goal accomplishment formula for your health, your physical fitness. I'm in excellent shape. You own it. My body has the stamina and precision to perform like a well-tuned machine. I feel energized, alert, excited to meet lighter, as you said, light. Everybody wants to feel light.
Yeah.
You
Exactly.
spring in your step. Okay, here's one. My diet is balanced and healthy. I crave foods that are good for me. I feel strong, satisfied, vibrant, attractive, confident, however it is that you would feel, cleansed,
Right.
that you would feel if your diet were that.
I love this approach.
Here's one for time management. You own it. I manage my time well. I leave in plenty of time to arrive punctually and professionally. I feel calm, confident, and powerful. That one gets me because I always try to do one more thing before I leave the house.
Yes.
Let me fit one more thing in. And it's a stupid game we play with ourselves. And so I push the clock. So I need to read that for myself. I teach this stuff, but I haven't mastered it all.
Well, it's a process, right?
It's
I had a boss one time that told me if you're not 5 minutes early, you're late. So I
Mhm.
um I am always early and probably shouldn't be, but yeah.
No, that's a really good trait. My husband's like that. He's got me on my toes. I raised 3 boys as a single mom and juggled a career, so I was always fitting one more thing in. But uh, so I have different programs. I mean, that was a little taste of goal accomplishment. And when I work with a client on goal accomplishment, which is great for new you, we actually write their goals together. I just listen and they tell me what they'd like to improve, what they're not comfortable with, and we start with that.
Now, do you work one-on-one or would you go to work with a group if someone
Yes,
wanted to
and
bring you
yes,
into their office?
yes, and yes, yes, I do.
Okay.
So that's available. But impression management is one of the programs I do. I teach speaking. I do a lot of speech coaching. That was my major, taught speech, which is one of the main, the number one fear in America. So maybe that's a goal. And we could say, I feel calm and confident when I am ready to speak. I deliver a great first line. I, that could be how you take ownership. All my speeches are prepared and clear, understandable. I show up with my A game. I'm well rested. I'm clear headed. I feel brilliant, accomplished. I mean, I want my clients to get
Proud,
that feeling of, when you nail it,
right? Proud.
like, right. You remember that feeling the last time you just nailed it? It may have been with a home sale or a conversation, maybe a dinner party you gave, anything that you poured yourself into. And boy, afterward, if you give a speech and we speakers, we say we smoked them, but you're
Nailed
only
it.
as good as your audience. So I have sweat blood, I have had speeches that there's three, the one you plan, the one you give, and the one you wish you'd given. And so sometimes those can be real far apart. And sometimes everything can fall in. The technology works, your slides are working, the microphone's great, the audience is laughing at all your jokes. So that's how you want to master these things, these goals.
Now, in real estate, a lot of times, and I guess any industry, they always say you need to have an elevator speech, which
You
means
do.
you have a short snippet that tells them exactly what you want them to know about you or your business. I
Mhm.
bet that's something you could help people come
I
up with.
help people write elevator speeches. I've got a good formula. It needs to be tight, not arrogant, not bragging, but informative. So for the young people that have never heard of an elevator speech, it originated like, say you got on an elevator on the first floor and the CEO was there, and you're going up to the 50th floor, and you have that minute or two to meet him or her, engage them, and then maybe ask if you could come by and see them sometime. So
Oh,
give the card, you want to lock it in their reticular activating system so that they'll remember you. But it's just a quick intro. I teach my college students, like, um, Mr. CEO, it's so glad to meet you. I'm really grateful to be doing an internship here this summer. And if it wouldn't be an imposition, I'm a student at A&M, and I'm a biomedical engineering major. Um, I'll be a senior this fall, and I'm really uh, thinking about my career. If it wouldn't be an imposition, may I contact you for some advice to just come by and visit with you for a few minutes? People
excellent.
like, especially when you're young, they like to be asked if they could
Uh,
give you some advice.
Most people are probably afraid to ask them.
Yes. And that's a way to form a relationship. And I know of people that did that that are for years friends with that person
That's
and
wonderful. Well, you're
gleaning.
obviously able to help every age group, all the way from children with etiquette up to college students, up to accomplished people that just want to fine tune or improve
Sure.
their skills. We don't have a lot of time left, Helen. We could talk about this and hopefully we'll come back and talk about it more. But how will people contact you if they would like to get together with you either by themselves or have you come talk to their office?
Sure. They can call me at 713-206-1800, 713-206-1800. And my website is Helen with one L dash Perry, Perry.com. Helen
Okay.
dash Perry.
That's fabulous. That's fabulous. I do want to bring you back to talk about more things in depth. I know we only have a short amount of time, but I also wanted to remind people the last time you were here, you spoke about an organization that you're involved in that's having a big fundraiser coming up this spring. You want to just tell us a little bit about it? I think the
Sure.
fundraiser starts April 8th. The sale is 9 and 10.
Yes, it is. So every year, the Salvation Army Women's Auxiliary puts on this amazing clothing sale for women. Sometimes we have 7,000 square feet of organized
Wow.
racks, accessories, shoes, clothing from size 0 to 18. Uh, we raise money for the Salvation Army, so there's no tax, and people come and shop. And we start with, I'm looking to see if I can find the location is different every year, and it has not been announced yet. We always get a donated space, often inside the loop, that we can use, move in for a few months to organize all these clothes that have been donated
Wow.
from stores. Some still have the tags on.
Amazing.
Women from the best dress list. They're photographed in it, they wear it once, and then they donate it. So we have several categories. We call it bronze, which is like the Gap or Talbot's, and then silver, which would be like Tahari, you know,
Calvin Klein.
nice, very nice. And then couture is gold. So that's your Prada, Escada, Armani, Chanel. We call it everything from Chico's to Chanel.
Oh, I love that.
And the prices are about 10 cents on the dollar. So a $700 jacket will be around $70.
That's amazing.
It,
Well, I
it's
tell
a
you, I'm sorry, go ahead.
it's a great way to refurbish your wardrobe in high quality that you would never even be tempted to buy retail, but it's pennies on the dollar, and the things I just find treasures there,
Well,
really.
why don't I have you back? We'll talk again about fashion and
Sure.
physical presentation and makeup and all that sort of thing. We'll go over the details of the sale because I plan on coming and taking some friends. Again, thank you very much, Helen. Anybody that wants to get started, New Year, New You, give Helen a call or her website. Give us your phone number one more time.
713-206-1800.
Perfect. And she'll be able to set up an appointment for you with you or a group. And I again, thank you so much, Helen. I love listening to you talk, and all the information you have is just invaluable.
Oh, thank you, Jean. It's my pleasure. Thanks for all you do.
Thank you, and we will have you back.
I'll be there.
Thank you for tuning in to the Real and Real Estate Podcast. I hope today's insights have inspired and empowered you. Don't forget to subscribe, leave us a review, and share the podcast with anyone who might benefit. Have questions or a topic you'd like us to explore? We'd love to hear from you. Until next time, stay informed, stay inspired, and keep moving towards success.